What's going on, everybody? TheKennyDubz here with another Mega Man X5 weekly update video. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten any real news as to what's happening in Global next week. I already have a very good idea of what's going to happen, though, and, well, we've actually been told by the devs that we're getting Halloween Pandora next week. We knew that we're getting Halloween Pandora because this is a 2-week event, and that just kind of follows what the Taiwan server did. So NA, Latam, and EU should all be getting Halloween Pandora this coming week. No, I say should because something else. I honestly don't think that it would deviate too much from the current plan, since we're all actually in the Halloween event as it is. And Halloween Pandora should be alongside the Death Diffusion, unless for whatever reason that's not a featured weapon like it was in the Taiwan version, which would be weird, but I mean that'd be a thing. So Halloween Pandora, this should be coming this week alongside hopefully the event missions this time. Last time for the Fireworks Lantern Festival, we didn't actually get the week 2 reward missions, which was kind of strange. That's a little bit of EMs lost and things like that. I'm going to assume that's not going to be the case for Halloween. But if Russell come over here and check this tweet, what's hidden in the dark, we have like finished Halloween event stage. If you look all the way down here at the bottom, you can see the red eyes. Like those are Pandora's eyes. And then this is just the Spy Devil boss and like one of the mummy enemies. So Halloween Pandora, like I said, should be this week. When I kind of like Halloween Pandora. She's not the best unit as you would expect, because we're supposed to be also getting a week of free pulls on her. So based off of that alone, you can tell that she's the least desirable of the 3 units, because typically in Global, for how we've done it so far, if you might have noticed, for the units that are like the less desirable, like, you know, maybe a little bit on the weaker end compared to the other units that are introduced with that event, you get a free week of polls with them. Just like in the previous event with Festive Zero, got a week of free polls on Festive Zero, but we didn't get a free week on Festive Leviathan. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind there. And then over here, Taiwan side, we're actually getting Halloween VIA. Now, for those of you who actually play the Taiwan version of the game, or maybe just kind of keep up with the players that play it, you might have seen the login screen where we actually see Halloween VIA alongside Halloween Zero. I almost said Vampire Zero, which I guess would still be kind of correct. But also Halloween VIA makes an appearance in the event as well. Like you see this image right there for the dialogue box. Wow, I don't know why it was hard for me to say that, but Pokemon Dive new event login screen and shed light on a new character once again. Halloween VIA. VIA came on the program earlier this year to celebrate Taiwan's 2nd anniversary. He's only now receiving his first seasonal costume on the heels of Halloween Zero's vampire themed costume. VIA's attire seems to be inspired by Little Red Riding Hood of all things. I mean, maybe. I was thinking, to be honest, looking at the hood, for those of you that might know, like, one, I'm a big Battle Network fan, so my first thought was like, I see the hood, I see the horns, I'm like, Darkman EXE from Battle Network 3? So maybe like more of a warlock kind of atmosphere kind of thing going for him. It could be Little Red Riding Hood, but I can't see the rest of it, so I'm not entirely sure. There's also like really long. VIA has long hair, so maybe it is supposed to be Little Red Riding Hood. Either way, it's an alt for VIA, which we surprisingly haven't had yet. So that's pretty interesting. There's not much we can say at this point beyond that. Keep your eyes peeled on Dev's social media accounts for the character reveal trailer in a few days. In the meantime, see a little more Halloween VIA's design after the break. And here is the event login screen right here, which actually looks pretty neat. I didn't get to see it like this in game because I had the daily rewards stacked up there. But I do like the splash screen here. But with all of that out of the way, with what's coming up in the Global and Taiwan version, let us go ahead and take a quick look at Halloween Pandora, since I didn't look at her the previous week. Alright, and here we are looking at Halloween Pandora, who is one of the few seasonal units that I actually have, because I got her during the week of free polls last year on the Taiwan account. Let's take a look at her splash screen real quick. She seems to be food themed, which is okay. Scroll a little bit there. Kind of reminds me of a cupcake, and like cupcakes. I also think Pandora is one of those characters that they try to make look adorable in most of her appearances. I like this little costume she has on here. But also, like, this just makes me hungry. Like the frosting and the sprinkle. I'm just like, I could go for a cupcake, and I haven't had cupcakes in years. Anyway, Take a look at the active skills. First up, we have Flying Attack. Perform an extremely quick charge at the target to deal damage equal to a lot of your damage, because I have this at a pretty high level, so I can't tell you exactly what the damage is just off of this. Alright, and making use of the World Wide Web, I can find out what it is at the base level. It's 266%, which is quite a stack of damage, to be quite honest. And you're invulnerable while you charge. When playing during arena, you can use the skill to teleport to the location of your target or targets available. That could be formed on the spot. So actually quite nice, because Pandora can just TP to a target while using this skill, and she's invulnerable while doing it. It does a decent chunk of damage as well. Take a look at the modifier chips. So first up here, we have mobility, which reduces the cooldown time by 20%. We have Showtime and not suffer negative status effects when using a Flying Attack, which is very, very nice because she has Showtime on this ability as well. And then we have Weapon Seal. After hitting another target unable to use a weapon, which also is not bad. Next up, we're going to take a look at Continuous Circulation. Release magic wands around you that deal damage equal to 70.3%, roughly 70% of your attack, which is okay, and deal damage to over time while targets in range. You can also use the skill again within 6 seconds to hurl the magical staffs to deal damage. So you summon the magical staffs around you. Like I said, summon 6 staffs. If you bump into enemies, you can deal damage that way, or you can just throw them at your enemy and then it'll hit 6 times while they are, while they're launching, assuming that something is within range to get hit with them, right? And then if they get by all 6. First up, we have Surround Enhancement. When you're surrounded by the magical wand, increases damage multiplier for the wands by 10%. Throwing Enhancement. When you throw out the magical wand, increases damage multiplier for the wands by 10%. Actually, I think I'll put that on for now if I use Pandora, at least in PvE scenarios. And then Dance of Magic Wand. And obtain an invincible barrier and take no damage when you're surrounded by the magical wands. That's actually extremely nice right there. So just so you have another way to get iframes. Unfortunately, I think it's actually on the weaker end of modifier chips in general, because that could have just as easily been built into the skill, as opposed to needing a modifier chip to take no damage while using the skill. But there's that. Anyway, on to the passive skills. First up, we have Changing into a Witch. At the beginning of a stage, you gain an enhanced crit damage status that cannot be removed. It will increase in crit damage by 180%. This can only be used once per stage. This is actually a long-lasting status. It lasts about 40 seconds, which is very, very nice for Pandora. As this Pandora is basically made to try and crit the targets that she hits. So that's very, very nice there. Downside is it only triggers once per stage. Penetration Enhancement. When you throw a magical wand and penetrate one additional target, and the damage penetration is 25%, which, sure, I definitely think this is one of the weaker passives that she could have gotten on this, but it happens. So we have Pavane of Moonlight. When hitting a target with Continuous Circulation, gain enhanced crit status to increase your crit rate by roughly 21%, and stacks up to 8 times. Which is nice as well. As you can see here, increasing the chance to crit even higher, so you'll have a better chance of dealing increased damage with your stacks, or with your abilities and your weapons. Next up, we have Secret Ritual. Extend the duration of change into witch by 30%. So with this, it goes up to about a 50%. About a 50% duration, which is 50-second duration, which is huge. So that's very, very nice as well. Then we have Elegy of the Witch. Increases the range of flying attack by 20%. The duration for continuous circulation is accelerated by 20%. I'm not too keen on the second half of that, but the first increases the range of flying attack by 20%. And if we go back here, Flying Attack is the TP skill, so you'll be able to TP to targets from even further away, which is very, very nice. And then let's go take a look at her DNA as well. She won't be having this in global when she drops, as the previous Halloween units did not have theirs. However, again, I'm just going over this to show you what you'll get in like a year on Pandora, which is unfortunate. But first up, we have HP Absorb. You need to target with continuous circulation. Recover HP equal to 21% of your attack. Circulation leaves after 3-second cooldown. That's actually not bad. I think that continuous circulation remains for more than 3 seconds, but that's still very, very good. So like you can use it, get the heal, and then you can throw it before the 6 seconds is up for reusing the skill and get the heal again, if I'm interpreting that correctly anyway, because it just says when you hit a target with the continuous circulation. So you can potentially get 2 heals off of that skill. Continuous flight. When flying attack hits a target, you'll be able to use the flying attack again. This can be triggered once more of 6-second cooldown. That's not bad here either. I prefer that would be like an actual passive as opposed to fixed DNA skill, especially considering she has one of her passives is just like really like why is this a passive here? That actually is. I feel like yeah, I don't know why that is, but this one I actually like. After the effect of which wears off, you will receive the status Moonlight of Blessing that cannot be removed, which is good. And you will not be able to, and you will be able to activate the effects of defense enhancement status and acceleration by 40%, which is great there, as this cannot be removed. After this effect wears off, you can once again activate changing into a witch again. The reactivated changing of the witch effect will not receive the secret ritual bonus, which is fine, to be quite honest. I really like this DNA here. It's very, very nice. The problem with it is that it's part of her DNA, which she doesn't get until a year later, which you might not be using Halloween Pandora a year later, unfortunately. So that's why I'm like this is nice, but I think it comes way too late for her. So that's just unfortunate. I do think it's good for Halloween Pandora, but it's just the time that she gets it. Things have changed a lot, and she might not even be relevant to the people that wanted to use her by then. Anyway, let's check her recombined DNA. First up with the unique DNA. When you are in crit damage enhancement status, increase the damage you deal by 8%, which is okay. You're likely going to be in crit damage enhancement status anyway a lot of time with Pandora, but this is a little situational, just because there will be times when you don't have it up. So there is that. Aside from that, short death ability, short range boost, not bad. Player Sentinel, player killer. The Sentinels. Oh, actually, with her DNA, the Sentinel isn't bad because you get the defense enhancement. But I'm not entirely sure with defense enhancement if that's packed into Moonlight of Blessings or if that's counted as a separate buff from that. I assume it's packed into that. So that's kind of nice, but again, by the time Pandora gets her DNA, things are going to be able to more easily one-tap, so having that additional defense on Pandora might not make that much of a difference on her, but, you know. Player Killer is good for PvP, though again, Pandora gets this really late, so it's kind of decoaling. Melee adaptability and melee amplification is actually interesting. Gives us some synergy with melee weapons. And then over here, see, blind res, reduction res, shield, special attack, okay, damage enhancement. I don't really like any of these that are over here. Oh, yeah, I don't really like anything over here in Recombined 4. I guess maybe the crit reduction, but not many units even inflict that. I can't think of any off the top of my head anyway that inflict it. I think like maybe like 1 or 2 units have the capability of inflicting that inherently, but outside of that, I can't think of anything right now. But like I said, I do like Pandora. I think she's decent as a raid unit. She'll be okay for PvP for a short while. I think currently in global, she won't be anything special though, unfortunately. But that is it for Halloween Pandora. Much like the other Halloween unit, she doesn't have any cards of her own either, which is a little unfortunate, but that was before they started distributing cards via the events for featured units. Alright, so I'm quite tired. However, it is 5:30 in the morning. So, the trailer for Halloween ViA just dropped. So, let's take a look at it, shall we? Okay. I need to turn this down a little bit here. But I really like the music. Oh, I like the effect on ViA as well. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure that's supposed to be Little Red Riding Hood. Definitely gives me more of a Darkman EXE. Pumpkin landmine. The opponent cannot see the landmine. Okay. It's pretty interesting. I want it to lose control and take... Oh, okay, so it does damage and inflicts out of control. Okay, that's what it... Alright. Does make the opponent afraid to attack rashly. Okay. Landmine with out of control effects can suppress the attack of melee opponent. Oh, wow, they really don't give us any information for Halloween ViA, did they? Huh. It's also interesting they made them fight regular ViA. Yeah, they didn't give us any information. I guess they did that with Halloween 0 as well, though. See them using the assault rifle. Control and take damage. Okay. So at first, I thought they were saying hits himself in confusion. Okay. Looks interesting. Don't know if I'll actually try pulling for it though. If anything, just maybe my daily 30 pulls, like I'm doing with Halloween 0. And I'm actually very, very upset with my daily pulls for Halloween 0. Okay. Just because I actually got a character on my daily 30 pull Halloween 0, and then it wasn't Halloween 0. So I rolled the character, and then I rolled the less than 2% chance to miss the featured character. But it's fine. It's whatever. More packages is fine by me. But yeah, that's it for this week. Should be pretty easy in terms of things all around. It's just a bit more relaxed, just because it's week 2 of the event. Unless you're trying to go for a higher ranking in one of the Halloween events, and it might be a little bit tougher for you. But outside of that, I think it's pretty easy. No like guild raids or anything like that. So let me know what you guys think down below for what's coming to this week in X Dive, and hopefully everyone that participates on the global version of the game. Hopefully your daily pulls for Halloween Pandora and Death Diffusion go well. Even if you don't want them, maybe you'll get some patches or something else from general pool. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Later.